Jamie Carragher's take on Arsenal's frustrating draw, a deep dive into refereeing controversies. Following Arsenal's contentious 2-2 draw against Sunderland, pundit Jamie Carragher shared his thoughts on the officiating. This news explores Carragher's reaction, the match's key moments, and the ongoing debate about refereeing in the Premier League. In what can only be described as a dramatic and controversial encounter, Arsenal faced Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, resulting in a frustrating 2-2 draw. The match was marred by refereeing decisions that left many questioning the integrity of the officiating. Among those voicing their opinions was former Liverpool defender and current pundit Jamie Carragher, who took to social media to express his views on the match and the perceived injustice faced by Arsenal. The match overview. Arsenal arrived in Sunderland with high hopes, aiming to continue their pursuit of the Premier League title. The Gunners had been in fine form, and a victory against a mid-table Sunderland side was crucial. However, the match quickly turned into a tale of missed opportunities and questionable officiating. First half highlights. Arsenal started strong, with Bukayo Saka opening the scoring early in the match. The Gunners dominated possession and created numerous chances, looking set to secure a comfortable victory. However, the first signs of controversy emerged when Sunderland had a disallowed goal, a decision that many believed was incorrect. Jamie Carragher's reaction. As the match unfolded, Jamie Carragher found himself at the center of the discussion surrounding the officiating. Known for his insightful analysis and outspoken nature, Carragher voiced his discontent with the referee's performance, particularly regarding the disallowed goal and missed penalty appeals. Key points from Carragher. Questionable officiating. Carragher highlighted the inconsistency of the referee's decisions, calling into question the criteria used to determine offside and fouls during the match. He emphasized that the technology and training available should ensure greater accuracy in such crucial moments. Emotional reaction. In a passionate display of support for Arsenal, Carragher noted that the decision seemed to disproportionately affect the Gunners. He expressed sympathy for the players and fans who felt cheated by the officiating, stating that such experiences could demoralize a team in a title race. Wider implications. Carragher warned that if the Premier League did not address these refereeing issues, it could have a detrimental impact on the credibility of the league as a whole. He urged for a more transparent approach to officiating that would allow fans and clubs to understand the rationale behind controversial calls. The controversial moments. As the match progressed into the second half, Sunderland equalized against the run of play, capitalizing on a defensive mistake from Arsenal. The home side's second goal further fueled the debate over officiating, as many Arsenal fans felt that a foul had been overlooked in the build-up. Key controversial incidents. Arsenal had a disallowed goal during the match, which both sparked outrage among players and supporters. Carragher noted that these decisions could have significant consequences for a team vying for the league title. Appeals ignored. Arsenal's calls for penalties were dismissed, with Saka's fall in the box being one of the most contentious moments. Carragher argued that the referee's refusal to award a penalty was indicative of a broader problem in officiating standards. Late equalizer. Arsenal managed to level the game with a late goal, but the joy was short-lived, as the referee disallowed it for a supposed foul that seemed to be a mere whisper of contact. The broader context of refereeing in the Premier League. Carragher's reaction to the match is part of a larger conversation surrounding the state of officiating in the Premier League. The introduction of VAR has not eliminated controversy. In fact, it has often added to the confusion. Many fans and pundits alike are calling for a re-evaluation of how officiating is handled at the top levels of English football. The role of VAR. While VAR was intended to enhance the accuracy of decision-making, its implementation has been met with mixed reviews. Critics argue that the technology is not being used effectively, leading to continued frustration among fans and players. Carragher's comments reflect a growing sentiment that VAR needs to be more transparent and user-friendly, providing clear explanations for its decisions. The draw against Sunderland was more than just a missed opportunity for Arsenal. It was a match that reignited discussions about the integrity of officiating in the Premier League. Carragher's reaction encapsulates the sentiments of many fans and pundits who are increasingly frustrated by the inconsistencies in refereeing. As Arsenal continues their pursuit of the title, the hope remains that the officials will improve, ensuring that the outcomes of matches are determined by the players on the pitch rather than by controversial decisions. In this ongoing saga of football's integrity, It is essential for the Premier League to take these concerns seriously, striving for a future where fairness and accuracy reign supreme. The beautiful game deserves nothing less.
Moment they just need a foul, a long throw, a direct ball to create that chaos. You have to defend the actions well. We lose the timing of that, and we can see the goal. So very disappointed because even at the end, in the last minute, we have again a massive chance with Ricky and Miguel to win it, and it didn't mean to be. So we have to accept it.
Difficult game, difficult environment to play in. I feel like we've done extremely well, especially in the second half, to come back and to put in the performance we put in. But yeah, we'll go into the international break, top of the league, and we'll keep a bit of perspective.
Did the block at the end mean as much, if not more, than the goal you scored?
The stage of the game, I mean, if we conceded there, it would have been a huge blow. So it probably meant more in the end, but there's no feeling that scoring a goal.
It was a tough game, as expected, because we knew before that we faced probably one of the best teams in Europe. I think now we have this faith, this belief that until the final whistle, anything is possible.
And Sunderland have shown all season that anything is possible. They could have gone second if they'd won this game. They're unbeaten at home. What was so impressive about this performance against Arsenal, Alan?
Well, particularly Dan Ballard. I think he epitomised everything that Sunderland have done so well, particularly at home this season, with his aggression, with him and his teammates stopping Arsenal playing, particularly in that first half. And they are really, really tough to play against, and there were so many examples of that today, with him and other players putting their body on the line, you know, for their team and for the atmosphere. And I said he sort of summed everything up. We're going to talk about this after, but look how difficult it is to get through, how many players they've got behind the ball, and then I think that's really good defending. As I said, we'll talk more in a minute about that, but that is really, really tough, aggressive defending. Then he more than plays his part with this. I mean, he makes it difficult to clear, but have a look at the touch and the finish. Goodness me, any forward would be proud of that finish. Then when they're piling the pressure on, he makes it really difficult there. The flick on in for Brian Brobby, who then finishes off with a great finish. But it starts with him being aggressive in the box and not letting the Arsenal players defend the way they want to, and then they get the reward. And then Arsenal come back at them and they straight down the other end. And I said, putting your body on the line for your team, that's exactly what I mean, and that's why it means so much to him as the defender, to stopping that. And you can see the reaction from all the fans from behind the goal. And Arsenal will not have many tougher games than that this season, I promise you. And you can see, I mean, he started his career at the Arsenal Academy, and what a performance him and Sunderland put in today. I thought they thoroughly deserved the point. Yeah,
Dan Ballard, player of the match. But you mentioned that challenge on Merino. They looked at it, VAR looked at it and decided there was nothing to see there. What was your view on it, Theo?
Well, my view, I look at it a little bit differently, to be honest, and it's not clear and obvious. However, it's early in the game, it's 7 minutes in the game, and Don Ballard, of course, wants to put his mark on the game, should we just call it. And Mikel Arteta spoke about being disruptive, and he's definitely, from my opinion, right, he's disruptive, and there's a slight movement from the elbow to Merino's cheekbone. Me and Al definitely probably don't agree on it. However, I do feel like his elbow's in quite a high condition, should we just call it, and it was very disruptive, and it did
I think, as a defender, if he allows that forward to get across him, Merino, his manager goes absolutely berserk at him. That's his space, and he cannot allow any forward to get across him. So he then settles himself, and then he goes for the header. He can't jump without doing that for a header, and I don't think there's anything deliberate there at all. I think it's more brilliant defending than anything else. And you would have done that if you were challenging for the ball as a striker? Well, I wouldn't allow anyone to sort of get in me, or in and around me, or in front of me, and that's his job as a defender. He cannot allow the forward to get in front of him, and he didn't.